you need the enthusiasm, because maintaining enthusiasm for 2 to 3 years is not a simple task. So you might have heard that for midterm exam, you cannot study more than 2 hours, right? So maintaining enthusiasm, confidence. Yeah.
Sir, I think the students are saying your voice is little cracking.
You need the enthusiasm. Okay. Because maintaining enthusiasm for 2 to 3 years is simple. It's okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this audio might be having some issue. So it's okay now, Nikhil?
Yeah, sir, it's better. You can start with that.
So ultimately, maintaining energy, enthusiasm for prelims, mains, interview, and without knowing about the result again for prelims, mains, interview. So it needs a lot of energy, mood, enthusiasm, and a good group. So for this, veterinarians are already trained. So one thing is that, and by having a degree in hand, a professional degree in hand, you will have some secured feeling. So in that way, you will be having confidence. If not civil service, something else is there. So this feeling will not be there in many streams. That in that way we are advantageous, and IQ level we are already proved. So we are in the creamy layer. Creamy layer. So please remove the doubts whether you can do the service or not, whether you can write or not, whether you are eligible or not. The lowest IQ level in veterinary will be more than sufficient to get top 50 of the services. So first of all, you should accept this, and preparation methods, timing, course, area, Delhi or Chandigarh or Ludhiana. So these are all the latest thing. The first step will be you can easily clear the exam, number one. And number two, there is no time limit. There is no age for this unless otherwise the government prescribes the age limit. For example, I started in my PG second year. So my UG, 5 years, I never had that exposure and I never had this dream also. After that, again, 2 years, I was in private, poultry. Then I came to study for PG. Then I got the exposure how to develop it is possible or not. This type of exposure I got in the PG first year. So PG second year I started from the crack. So zero say I started. So I was supposed to do PhD, and in PhD, it will be slightly difficult to concentrate in studies also. So it took around 2.5 years for me. But the PhD second year I got IFS, and after that I don't want to sit because my first aim was IAS, but IFS I got, and in that experience of studying, so I got to know about the IFS. So I liked it, and I hope it suited me. So that's why I got satisfied when I got IFS. After that, I didn't want to try about. And again, the years of the period after my UG, it was around 8-9 years. So too long to wait and go further. So it was my journey. But for you, I'm telling you are in the right place and right time. So UG is a very good time. I don't want you to study for 10 to 12 hours in UG for civil services, but you should start thinking about civil services. So in that way, you are very lucky, and Nikhil has started in the right time and the right way. So all the best for your thinking, first of all.
Thank you so much, sir. We also have some students have also doubt regarding the pattern of the exam and what all the subjects are there for the veterinarians for Indian Forest Services examination.
See, my most of the answers will be broad answers, because I don't want to specify which subject will be good for scoring and which coaching classes will be good and which method, morning or evening. So these are all the things. It will be, even if I say after 2 months of study period, you will definitely change it because it doesn't suit everybody. For me, I can say I started with zoology because I was not confident in veterinary, frankly speaking. Veterinary, I thought in UG I could have started my preparation. So in that case, I would have got some time and situation and environment to get some material, to get guidance from veterinary colleges. But I thought I missed it So because of that, I didn't want to go to veterinary. So I started with zoology and literature, Tamil literature. I'm from Tamil Nadu. So Tamil literature I started. So if you are really interested in literature, so that will be one option definitely for the civil services, for IAS and other services. But for IFS, you have to go to science subject. So in that way, I started again veterinary, our subject, and I share with you veterinary. In veterinary only, I got the highest marks. Even though I thought that I'm one of the above average, one of the average students, average level I crossed IVRA. So in that standard, I could get highest marks in veterinary. So always your subject will be one of the best. That's what I wanted to say. So being in UG, you should take veterinary services, veterinary sciences as a subject. And the second option may be zoology, because some overlapping, not exactly the subject, maybe 10 to 20%, but the orientation of your subject in veterinary towards veterinary for 5 years. So your mind will not be thinking as an engineer. After 12th, if your brain, if you tune your brain into engineering side, it would have been ready. But after spending 5 years of your veterinary in a biology, in biotechnology, and even animal, wildlife, passion, so after that, if you start thinking about something subject like engineering or technology, it will be difficult for you, because it is not subject to study any subject. Even my friends even took Pali language, which is entirely new. It is not at all having any books at all in the states. Even Bihar, you don't have any sources for Pali language. But even Pali language, they started from zero. They got coaching and they cleared with very good marks. So subject is not a matter. The thing is, your orientation towards a subject should be interesting. Like veterinarian, for veterinarian, zoology will be interesting, botany will be interesting, but in that case, zoology will be the first option. And if you have passion towards any language, so a language, you can take any language, like Hindi literature, like Sanskrit, like any literature you can take, even Punjabi literature. I don't know whether the subject is there or not. And this type of orientation towards literature, if it is there, you can take literature for IAS. For IFS, you are forced to take science subjects in which you don't have much options. Veterinary science and zoology are the most preferred options for the IFS service. Yanika.
Yes, sir. One thing more I would wanted to ask was, what other than optional subjects, just can you just tell an overlap of the normal subjects which people have to study apart from the veterinary sciences or the optional subjects? And if some statistics of good subjects is available, like for these subjects, this much, if like for veterinarians, I think there's a more probability of choosing this subject.
Yeah, first of all, I wanted to give some introduction about the services. So one is All India Service, in which we have our dream, like All India Service. It is Indian Administrative Service, IAS, IPS, Indian Police Service, and IFS. So Indian Force Service, in which all other All India services, which is IAS and IPS, and other central services like IRTS, IRS, Custom Service, and railway service, trade service, lot of service, around 30 to 35 service. It depends upon the government to call for which service they want this year. So this all services has a single exam, IAS, IPS, and other central services. So for which there is a lot of options, including humanities. For IFS, only science subjects. So for IFS, in science subject, the most suitable subjects will be forest and zoology, botany, and veterinary. Right? For IAS, you can take any humanities subject like geography, history, and geography is most preferred next to the science subjects for our people also, and public administration. Uh, Geography, history, public administration, zoology, botany, agri, veterinary. These are all the subjects generally people used to take. So I request you all to go through the options first of all. So the subjects, the options available, and the exam pattern for which you will get the information from Employment News. And I request Akhil and Nikhil to help them to collect the material regarding the Employment News, regarding the website material, regarding the old question papers. So once you can take some time to select the option, at least 2 to 3 months it may take to go through the options available and to select one option. And second option will be always veterinary service. But if you want to go for entirely new, then you have to be in a place where coaching is available. If you want to go for home quarantine, like home study, then veterinary should be one of your subjects. That is my suggestion, because both the subjects you cannot prepare from zero from home. At least you should be in a place where coaching is available for one option, and one option you can manage in the home study, right? So options, for options, better you go from your willingness and passion, and the options available in your place. For example, if you can go to Delhi, definitely the options may be more. Like Delhi, you'll have very good coaching centers for geography, for bad and all. But if you are in Chandigarh, you have to go through which options are very good in Chandigarh. And if you want to study from college or from home, so veterinary will be one subject, and one subject should be more related to your veterinary, so that you can manage without much of your competitors. Much of the notes are not available for veterinary, so you have to study from your college only. For general subjects, you have to depend upon some coaching materials of some places, because at least you should come to know what coaching classes are doing, not for learning. You should know what coaching classes are doing and what are the materials available. While going through the materials from the superficial level, you will come to know what your answer should be. So how it will be different, how your answer should be different. So for that, your coaching material will be useful. And of course, some areas in a time shortage, for example, only have 3 months. So in that way, you cannot study from zero, right? So these are all the criteria in which you have to decide where you're going to sit, when you're going to sit, and what is the group you have, and what is your patient. So these 4 5 categories you have to think about. After that, you have to take at least 2 to 3 months to go through the syllabus, go through the old question papers. Then you will come to know that which is your cup of tea, right? After that, whatever you decide, you don't need to regret, and you have to go ahead. That's what I think.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And one other thing people are asking is, what is the main job as a IFS officer that you have to do, or what are the duties that an IFS officer has to do in a zoo? Or the people want to ask. Yes.
Yeah, broadly, I want, as an IFS officer, I want to attract you towards IFS, because before coming to service, I didn't know much about IFS. Only thing is, I know it will be interesting, it will be forest, it will be animals. So, but lot more things are there in IFS. First of all, the training area, that is there. So one of the best campuses in India, that is FRI, Forest Research Institute, in which our training academy is also there. That is in Indira Gandhi National Forest Academy, right? So that you will spend 2 years almost in that institute. So that is one of the most interesting and memorable period you will have, definitely, and in which you will not sit in Dehradun. You will roam at least the all important forest areas of India in the training period. So that itself is a cakewalk. That itself is a gift of this service, that nobody can access some areas in any forest. Like in Silent Valley, maybe 20 to 25% is accessible for others. So only IFS officers and forest department can access. So this type of advantages, being in forest, seeing the forest, enjoying the forest in its own natural way, with the full privilege and honor. So this type of advantages you will get in the training, first of all. Coming to the service nature, this is one of the services in which you don't have much pressure, pulls, and interferences from the politicians and even local public. Particularly Punjab, it is very negligible. Of course, minimum pressures and rules will be there from the government, politicians, for diverting the forest area. So that will be there in every forest area, every state. But apart from that, it is one of the satisfying services, and one of the interesting services. And of course, it is administration. As you think, you should not think that IFS is only forest and forest area, enjoying trekking and touring. So this is not IFS. You might not have seen your forest area for 1 year also, even though if it is in your jurisdiction also. So ultimately, the interesting nature will be the things you are doing for forest, the things you are doing for forest wellness, things you are doing for development by diverting the forest, and things you are doing for the nature. So in today's time, whatever you do service to the nature and environment, that will be the great service for the humanity. So you may not directly do some service for public day to day administration, but definitely indirectly you will be having a lot of contribution to the nature and the environment. So in that way, you'll be highly satisfied. That is sure for any state. And the particular postings in which you will get some more interesting assignments will be zoo. One of such postings will be zoo. Second will be UN related postings in Perth. Third will be ministry postings in Delhi, in which you will be in the policy making. Fourth will be academies in which you are teaching for forestry, right? So these are all the areas you will have some edge between other services. Like when you come for veterinary, always you will feel that we are slightly lower than MBBS. There will be always comparison, whether you are doctor, whether you are gaining, whether you are higher in the level. So you will be always comparing, whether you like it or not. People will be comparing, and you will also will be comparing. So I'll again tell you, when you come for IFS, there will be again comparison. So whether elite services IAS, whether powerful service will be IPS, so this type of comparison will be there. So what I want to say is, when you come for IFS, you should be highly passionate, you should be highly satisfying yourself, and you should not regret in any way that I didn't get service, other services, that's why I came. So when you come for IFS, please be prepared, your mind. Please be prepared that I'm in a simple service in which you are going to do a lot of contribution for the humanity and this world. Of course, you will get a lot of privileges, a lot of honor, a lot of privileged services when you go to other states. Your friends will be there. So in every state, your friends will be there in the most important forest areas, and which is accessible only for you. So these are all the benefits and perks of other services. Otherwise, in day-to-day administration, you will be having office work definitely, and you will be having force also. That like police force, you will be having forest force. So you'll be protecting your forest from encroachers, protecting your forest from poachers. So this type of encroachment and law and order issues you will be enforcement agencies also you will be having. Apart from that, you will be having some projects. So your innovative ideas will definitely help you to create projects in the forest and forest related areas. And in zoo particularly, it's very interesting for veterinarians. There will be some veterinarians in zoo under you. So you can come to know what is the health status of zoo. And zoo is one such projects in which the output will be very high. Because in other places, for example, plantation, if you do, so you will get the fruits after 2 years, 3 years, whether you will continuing in that post or not, you don't know. But in zoo, whatever you do, the feedback will be immediately. So next day, people will tell you, sir, ये जो आपने किया था वो ठीक है. Whether it is good or not, whether it was bad, whether it is can be improved. So the feedback will be immediately given, and public oriented programs you can get involved. A lot of infrastructure you can create, a lot of animal related services you can do directly. A veterinarian can contribute more for the health of animals. For example, after coming here, I tried to do some scientific methodologies in day-to-day management, like animal behavioral study and deworming standardization, and disinfection standardization, vaccination standardization, and breeding strategies. Like breeding in nature is different from breeding in the captive management. So in captive management, entirely the strategy will be different, because they'll be used to captive management. There will be space constraints, there will be feeding constraints. So in this constrained environment, whether you can give some output, then that will be really interesting. A lot of challenges are there in zoo, because media is very sensitive in zoo areas, and animal death, of course, is one of the most sensitive areas. But every day something you will get some satisfaction. So satisfaction will be more in zoo postings. And for zoo, you don't need to talk much now. Whenever you want, you can come and visit the zoo, and zoo veterinarians work, and zoo IFS officers work also. So that will be being in Ludhiana. You should not talk in imagination. So we can give you a practical exposure to zoo and IFS in zoo, right?
Yeah, I would like to add we had been to the zoo and sir took us to the kitchen and he also showed us the zoo. Each point here, there also been world class walk-in aviary which has been developed during sir being in the zoo. So it's really great to be in the zoo. You all must once visit the zoo who have not visited yet. There's a lot of changes which have been made to make it pollution free, and it's really appreciable. I really appreciate your efforts, sir. One
That's
student
what
is,
I wanted to say. Zoo is one such place in which, as a normal officer, you can do a lot of things. Like, for example, you might be knowing uh, there was plastic issue in zoo because very few zoos have forests, and the Chatbir Zoo is one such zoos. It was created in the forest area. So there are natural animals also, free-ranging animals, and natural forest also. So public, when they go to zoo, they do litter in forest areas also. So even though we have sweepers, we have hygiene workers to clean, the cleaning of roads and moats and enclosures are very not very difficult things. But cleaning of forest areas was a challenge. So how to go about it? And one day, a notorious journalist with a local journalist, he threw a bottle, plastic bottle, in the tiger's enclosure, and after that, he clicked a photo and video, and he was blackmailing our staffs that okay, tiger, it is chewing the bottle plastic. So what you are going to do, and what is administration doing? This type of news. So it was a information for me in the evening, and we thought, okay, so we can immediately tackle this matter. But tackling a person is not a matter. So next day it can happen. So ultimately, what is the solution for this? So we thought of two, three small methods, simple methods, practical methods. So ultimately, we came to a method in which the person who wants to take inside zoo, visitor who wants to take bottle inside has to give deposit for 30 rupees, and they can bring back the empty bottles and give it in the administration, and they can get 30 rupees. So there is no loss for the visitors. But for us, it almost solved the 95% of the issue without any investment. Even we could reduce the number of persons who are cleaning. So 4 or 5% were reduced after this. Without having any investment, we could collect all the bottles in the entry gate itself, and after that we could make revenue from bottles also. So it doesn't need any requirement of budget support from government. So it is a simple decision by an administrator with some standardization. You may do it after 1 month, 2 months. It will be standardized, but ultimately the satisfaction you get after it is successful. So now this model is being followed in many other zoos, and now we are getting tag that garbage-free zoo, plastic-free zones. So these are all the things you will get to know. Some things you will do, some things you will be forced to do, some things you will you will get automatically. That this tax and all, we didn't think, we didn't want to go, we didn't want to go for any patent and all, but we are now thinking in that level, that plastic free zones, how to create, and how to improve that, how to recycle the waste, how to recycle the liquid waste. So this type of avenues, you will be getting a lot of avenues every day. But only thing is, your mind should be open, and you should create a good team to execute whatever your ideas are there. So team management is the need of the service, whether it be IFS or IAS or IPS, whatever. So team management and men management and enthusiasm and execution with full vigor. So that is, if that is there, you will excel in any service. Yeah.
yeah, that really seems very interesting to be always in high energy and high spirits to go for this job. And one thing students were asking was how to be consistent in this preparation, how to motivate yourself every day to continually keep preparing for this examination, as it is very difficult to
Yeah.
maintain a pace. Sometimes there's very high and sometimes there's very low. So
Yeah.
how did you kept your pace?
Yeah, it's the most important question for the civil services. So that's why I told you, before coming to the service, you should uh, clearly think that this is not the clearing the service is not the end, right? It is an selection process UPSC is doing, and government has standardized a method to select you from Ludhiana, from Chandigarh, from any village. So they will pick you through an exam. So for which a set of pattern is there. So it may be through coaching class, it may be through village, it may be through college. So methods are different. So there will be a lot of examples if you take. So you should be clear that getting service is not the end. That is the starting for the service. That's why I told you before coming to service, you should see the officers, not in Zoom. You should meet the officers. You should meet the officers in their office. So you should know what is the service, whether it suits you or not. And you need a lot of energy to do service after entering to the services. So once you enter the services, your postings will be keep on changing. Your place will be keep on changing. You will be having some negative energy, and you will be having some obstacles, and you'll be having some personal changes in your family, like marriage, fatherhood, then health issues. So a lot of changes will be happening in your service. In that case also, you should be having a lot of energy to maintain your services, to maintain your reputation, so that your next assignment will be better than this. So the energy maintenance, health, fitness is most important for the service, not only for preparation, but till retirement and even post retirement, if you want to enjoy the services. So you please enjoy the service. For that, your fitness should be very high, and your physical fitness should be very high, your mental fitness should be very high. So if you think that you are not fit physically, start from today. Your physical fitness should be in such a way that any obstacle which should not tamper you, should not degrade you, that exam tension, night preparation, and any behavioral stress, any situational stress, any family stress should not affect you. For that, your physique should be fit enough, number one. Second is your mental fitness. Lot of people, very good IQ, with very good background, IAS background, family background is very good. But after coming to the preparation, they failed. They could not clear even prelims. And some people, I tell you, prelims they clear, mains they never clear. Some people, I tell you, both they clear, they never clear the interview. Some people, I tell you, the most important thing is after clearing in the top rank in the services, after coming to the service, they failed. Even a lot of suicides have been done by the officers who came from very good background, even financial background, even administrative background, even first attempt holder. So a lot of examples for the suicide, lot of examples for the failed, even after coming to service, they go out of service. So I think the physical fitness and mental fitness is very important for the services, to excel in the services, to continue in the services, to excel in your full life. So for that, the preparation is a sample. So it may be 2 years, it may be 3 years, it may be 1 year, but the consistency for preparation is very important sample. If you clear this, then you can able to think that we will be fit for services for another 25, 30, 40 years. So it is not a specific fitness for civil services. It is a fitness for uh, any services, any attempt. So you should be persistent enough. You should be fit enough physically. You should be having a very good grouping, like environment. Not more than 5 or 6, maximum 6, minimum at least 2. So you should have good friends for the preparation to make you consistent. Because once you prepare, you will be having very good idea. After that, after 3 months, it will be zero. After 3 months again, you will be starting afresh. And after preparing for 1 year, just before prelims, you will be having a lot of tension that you have forgotten everything. And even after studying everything, when you go to exam hall, you will be feeling like zero. So these are all the things happen to many persons, even in your exams also. So this will happen 2 to 3 times more in civil services, because civil services is nothing but testing your mentality, testing your personality, testing your presentation skills. So most of the questions, I don't say that you are not repeating the book or you are not repeating the notes, but most of the questions will be analytical. Most of the writing part will be presentation skill oriented. So ultimately, you should be having variety in your preparation. Like, you should not depend upon one book. You should not depend upon one coaching class. You should not depend upon one style. So that's why the variety, the exam question itself has variety. So the preparation also should be having a lot of varieties in such a way that you should not get bored. Right? So that is why I told you the subject selection will be more important in such a way that the entire preparation should be interesting. So your option should not be bored after 1 year for you. Second is your place, like a single room, closed room, and 13-hour study will not be useful after 3 months or 4 months. So you should be having variety in a single day also. Like every day you should exercise also. You should have fun also. You should have group study also, and you should have revising also. So variety in preparation every day, variety in preparation in different stages, variety in preparation in options, and after that discussion and online study, newspaper, writing skill development every day. So these are all the ways to make your preparation interesting. After that, most important thing, the failure in exam will definitely be there. You should be ready. You should be consistent enough to take care of your next attempt. For example, your prelims exam will be just 15 days before your your interview date will be just 15 days before your next prelims. So with a lot of dream, you will go to interview. You will be thinking as if I am collector Ludhiana when you go to interview. So in that mentality, you will go to interview hall. You might have done very well also interview, or you might have not done also. But you may not know what is the result after 10 days. The result will be coming before prelims, sometimes after prelims. So you should be ready for the next prelims within 2 days of the interview. You should not think that you are collector. You should think that you are again a student, and like LKG student, you have to start from zero, facts, points, very factual things. Also, you should be required for prelims. So the next day you should be thinking like a failed student. Then you should be again thinking about prelims. In case if you get the services what you thought, what you dreamt, okay, well and good, you'll be the happiest person. If you did not get IAS, you get IPS. So again, you will think whether to go for next attempt or not. If you don't get service, then again the full energy will be down. In next 2 days, you cannot think about anything. You'll be like utter failure. You will be thinking that you are failed person. So you should come out again. You should again stand. You should again come for prelims, mains. So for that, your family should be highly supporting, and most importantly, your friend circle should be there. Friend circle means the like-minded friend circle, not for chatting, not for fun. All of your friends should be in such a way that they will be also thinking like you. They will be also preparing like you, and not. It doesn't mean that they should be IAS aspirants, but they should be like-minded, and they should be welfare-oriented friends. So if this group is there, and if you have this type of mentality that if I fail, again I'll stand. This mentality is there. You will not get bored. You will be consistent enough, and there are some techniques to improve the consistency, like as everybody says, yoga, jogging, and meditation. So these are all like any fitness techniques you can do it. That is there always, right? And civil service aspirants should be definitely be disciplined enough to be consistent. That is very important.
Yeah, I completely agree with sir with this point, because during my preparation I started, it was really a stressful time to manage with all those stress which comes up to you every day. The syllabus keeps up piling up, and you really need to come out of it through one way or other. And if you're not able to come out, you just start falling. So one of the person was also asking ki I'm motivated and I'm wanted to start, but where is the point, that which is the starting point? How should I start? So this is the question. how to really start at a point we are motivated, we want to prepare, but how to really start the preparation?
Okay. So till today, if you did not start, okay, you are in zero as far as civil service is concerned. No need to worry, because I started in my 26th age, right? So 26 is really, it's too late for the service, because you will get the service, there is no issue, but you have to enjoy the service also, right? As a bachelor. So entering service in a young age is really a gift for the people who want to enjoy the service, because immediately after getting service you'll be thinking about marriage, your family will be pressurizing you, you will get a lot of offers, so your mentality will be different. So getting early service is very important, but for that you don't need to get stressed. Till as today, if you start also, there is no time limit, the 2 years, 3 years. It depends upon the time you have. Somebody may sit 24 hours from today, like Nikhil, he has finished, he has got secured now. So if he wants to join RVC, that is different. If he doesn't want to join, so that is different. He's having 24 hours now. So for that, I won't say that it is highly advantageous, because sitting for 24 hours for civil service is also a stressful activity, because your family should support first of all, and you should be ready to approach the questions. And after failure in case first year, then second year, a lot of questions will be there. So the first year is very important, and be good, plan very good, like you should convince the family also, right? So everybody will be supporting you, like I am going to become a collector, so everybody will be happy, your father will be the first person to be happy, your mother will be the first person to be happy. But ultimately they should be also trained in such a way that it may take some time, it may have some turns and twists. I may end up in veterinary also again, and I may go to Andhra Pradesh also after posting. So I may not like the service after going inside. So this type of tuning is required not only for you, for your family also, even for better off also. And for that, you have to plan in such a way that if I start today, it may take some years, right? And if I start today, how do I start? Like somebody will say newspaper, each and every word you have to study. Somebody will say English is very important. For me, English was very important because I was from Tamil medium, so not exposed to English generally. Even I could not make a statement in my UG till my finishing of my undergraduation. I can manage to write, but I cannot talk English. And English, what I'm saying English is, it's not talking accent. It is not the speech. It is the presentation skills in English. If I give a topic, for example, Corona, you can write 10 statements also. You can write 1 page also. You can write 10 pages also. You have a lot of materials now. This is the most discussed topic presently, right? So a topic is given, a question is given, but how you are now 25, 30 people are sitting here, right? So 25 answers will be different. You accept or not? So everybody's answer, everybody's connotation, everybody's view will be different. So within a time limit, and after understanding the question, how you are presenting about the same topic, and 10,000 people will be writing about Corona in the exam hall, but 10,000 answers, how you can attract the evaluator, right? 10,000 answers will be there about Corona, but whether you finished in time or not, because if you keep on writing about Corona, it will affect other answers. So you'll be having 25 questions like this. So within time limit, what is the question, understanding that in simple English, it should be acceptable to the evaluator also. It should be, it should not, you cannot put your full energy for single question, right? If you do, your time will be 2 times to 3 times more than what is required. So within time limit, without stressing much of your brain, and at the same time giving the addressing the question in a different way. So this is the requirement for the civil services. In a nutshell, this is civil service. It may be very simple answer, it may be very interesting answer, but within the time limit, on the exam day, how is your mentality, and which point is coming first. For example, if after writing 3 points, you will get a very good interesting point. You cannot write simply. So you have to manage in such a way that points are not left out. At the same time, time limit can you have done the justice for the question. So in my opinion, presentation skill, if you have already very good presentation skill, and you have to go directly to the subject. If you don't have that till today, no need to worry about it. I spent almost 6 months for English dictionary, English newspapers, and writing skills. I just left civil services preparation. I think I spent around 4 to 5 hours only for English. But it may not be required for you. But it is very important that presentation skill. Many English medium persons studied from LKG to +2, fully studied in a very good convent school, may fail in presentation skill. So what I'm saying is English vocabulary utilization for a question in a right way and presenting nicely in a time limit is the most important skill which is required for the civil services, number one. Number two, some people might be having very good background. Their brought up will be in such a way that the general knowledge and analysis of a topic will be very ordinary in their home or in their school. But for some people, it was never happened. Like they never discussed in home about a general topic. It is very common in home, and they never analyzed, argued in a topic. So for some houses or for some homes, parents will be from this type of background. For some houses, maybe very good friend circle, maybe discussing about some good topics. So analyzing capacity is not a inherent genetic character. So that can be developed easily. So that is very important. Side by side, it has to be developed. Discussing, arguing in a topic, pros and cons. TV arguments you might have heard. Corona is good. If you want to talk, Corona is good. You can talk for 10 minutes. Same question, they'll ask you, Corona is bad. So you talk for 10 minutes. So both you should be ready. So your views should be balanced and unbiased. For that, you should be ready to train your mind, and your language should come in such a way that depends upon the question, your thinking capacity should run. So ultimately, it is a brain exercise, which is the need in the initial stage. After that, as everybody says, notes collection, material collection, and question paper collection, and writing exercise, and tests, frequent tests. So these are all anybody's prescription, but my prescription would be the mental exercise to analyze any topic in an administrative way. Like as an administrator, how you think about it and how you present this. So this is the most important skill you have to start in the initial stage. If not now, you can start now, and you can start grammar book, English grammar book. You can start newspaper now also, and newspaper, any topic you can study. It may be cinema, it may be politics, it may be international relationship, but you have to see the presentation in the newspaper. That is most important. It is not the facts, by hearting the facts of newspaper. No need. Just ask a topic here. Today's topic, what is the topic today's important topic, and how you can relate one topic to another topic, and how some author is very interesting, how some author is very boring, and how, because every news has its own authors. Every English is different, and chief editor's language will be very good, but every journalist, he cannot put his own skill in every news, but every news is having some different connotation, different analyzing. For example, 2 days before, Maneka Gandhi madam, I thought it was very good analysis of a service, even though she was against service, against IFS, against bureaucrats, against ministers, but it was like a but you can get a lot of ideas from that. So within a short period, if you get many annotation ideas, so that will be the newspaper is the cheapest source to improve the presentation skills in English. In case if you want to write in English, if you want to write in some other languages, you should be having that skill in that language. Like Even in your regional language, you can write the civil services. In case if you want to do that, I don't know about Punjabi's status. If you want to do in Hindi, you can do it. If you want to do in Punjabi, you can do it. I'm not 100% sure. Please check it. If you want to do in regional language, you have to get that skill in that language. That is the most important skill you have to start immediately, simultaneously collecting the materials and collecting the question papers, selecting the options. After that, when you sit, the basic standard will be very good. After that, you can go to the subject. I think subject may not take much time. It may take 3 to 4 months to finish a subject as far as exam is concerned. And to master it, it may go for one more attempt. So that's all. So you have to find out where you are now. Accordingly, you have to start. So there is no mantra for the starting. Today you have to start newspaper. Today you have to start English. Today you have to start veterinary. No, it depends upon you and your status to start. But of course, whatever I said, these are all very important. And of course, your subject is the main thrust you have to give, because that is the most scoring portion. General knowledge, you cannot rely on 100%. Even though you are very good in general knowledge and analysis, sometimes the questions may not be supporting you and you may not get very confidently that expected questions. But in subject, you can assure minimum marks. Minimum marks, what I say is different from your veterinary exams. In civil services, 50% is sufficient to crack very good service. More than 50% means you are into the top rate service. And the topper will not have 90% marks. He would have got scored at 55 to 60%. So you should not aim here 100% marks. So you can, if you don't get some skills also, no need to worry about it. For example, you are very poor in maths, no need to worry. Maths is very important for prelims and for even for some mains also, but you don't need to worry about it. If you leave the questions also, you can easily clear the exam. So that's why it is a balanced exam. Everybody has their own advantage, and you have to know about your skills. For that, you have to know about the question pattern and syllabus, and in which you have to find your strength. And wherever you are feeling that you are weak, you have to keep a minimum standard. And for that, you have to start your presentation and start your preparation today. I think I did justice. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, sir. One last question, which was coming from one of the student, was: can a student who is born in some other country but is an Indian citizen, can he or she appear for this exam if he has a dual citizenship?
I have to clarify. I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Any please, Nikhil, all the questions which you have left also today, and you can prepare a question list. And if not, I don't have, if you don't have idea directly, because I have crossed around 12 years of service. So after that, even exam pattern has changed. CSAT was not there in our time, and roster system was there for cadre system. So now a lot of changes in service, question pattern, even appearance, aspirants have changed, IITians have come, doctors have come. So a lot of changes in the preparation pattern also, and question pattern also, subject also. So please give us the question. It is easy for me to contact the right persons, and I'll let you know. We can talk through mail also, and we can send you, I can send you email also if you have some factual questions. So those are not very important, right? That question is important for that person. Definitely I'll address that. But whatever हमारे mind में होगा ना initially, which book and which coaching institute and which subject, so these are all not very important. So
Yes,
if you are ready to start, you start today itself, right?
Right.
One more important thing, in my personal opinion, it is very important. Please don't think that preparing for civil service will affect your normal routine of veterinary graduation. And civil service preparation, if you want, you have to leave everything. You should not enjoy. You should not talk to. You should not have fun, and you should be spiritual. ऐसा कुछ नहीं, right? First of all, I want to clarify. You should first of all think that civil services preparation is a fun. You should enjoy that process. Then only you can clear it, right? And if you are a minority, for example, in your class, you are the only person studying, so you may have some problems, definitely. So that's why I told you a group is very important, like-minded group. And second is, if you want to enjoy your undergraduation, you don't want to sacrifice any of your enjoyment, no problem. You don't need to sacrifice everything. you can enjoy everything at the same time. Simultaneously, you can start your preparation of mind, health, fitness, and collection of materials. And because some things you cannot do after sitting idle, right? After finishing your UG, if you sit, a lot of questions will be there in your mind, lot of questions and lot of insecurity. So that time, if you start from zero, so that time many people failed and many people immediately, chalo yaar, ek job mil gaya, I'm going, so I'm not in service. So that preparation, which is taking time unnecessarily, that things you have to start now. It doesn't need a tag. It doesn't need your sacrifice from enjoyment. It doesn't need much of your time. Single day, 2 hours, if you spend for civil services now, you will save a lot of your precious time after your UG. So that's why start today itself. Not studying, start preparing your mind and your materials. If you want to study now itself full time, then this is the best time, best strategy to do. But if you can't do, no need to worry. After UG, you sit immediately and dedicate for 1 or 2 years. Then even if you can go to job, and after that you can crack the services, but not in the first stage. It needs a dedicated study of 1 year at least, in my opinion. After that, if you feel insecure, you can go to job, uh, which is uh, which is tallying, which is conducive for the civil services preparation. For example, you cannot go to police job for preparation, right? So 24 hours duty. So if you go to a teaching job, you can do, even government VO job you can do, and part-time job you can do. So for civil services, there are some nature of works, postings you can change accordingly. So after 1 or 2 years of preparation, or 1 year minimum, if you dedicated study, next you can plan as per your family's needs, as per your personal needs. But initially, it needs a dedicated preparation for 1 to 2 years. If you can do, no need to worry about it. 2 years I spent, I wasted. In my opinion, if even if you waste, even if you don't get any service, I will let you know your life will be very good, better than many other persons who did not study the civil services. Even Nikhil accepted that his preparation for civil services, even though he did only a very short period, was very helpful for RVC. RVC and civil services nowhere relation, but the mentality and the personality development he got within a short period can give you a lot of results. And he is now today uh, arranging a program. So this anybody can do, but why Nikhil? Because the mode and the tuning he got in the short period. If you do it in 1 year, 2 years, then you'll be having a lot of vision for your personal life, for your career. Even if you end up in a scientist, you will be different from others, definitely. So your civil services preparation will definitely help you for your whole life, even if you fail in civil services. But failing in civil services, for failing, you should not worry. And there are a lot of chances that you will clear. For a veterinarian who is dedicatedly studying for 1 or 2 years, 95% that he will clear good services. Maybe if not second rank, if not third rank, if not 13th rank. So rank may change and timing may change, but definitely in our IQ level and our broad-minded UG undergraduation, you will definitely succeed in life, and civil services also, it will be in your hand only.
Yeah. Yeah, that I completely agree that this, that was the only one thing which really pushed me into this services. Sudhakar sir told me this service, the preparation for this service is never going to go in vain. This would always be very helpful for you at any point of life. And just myself, after preparation of 10 to 12 months, I feel so different after, reading all the subjects which we have all been feeling lacking. And sir, I would also like to tell that the inspiration for this journey is very important. It doesn't matter ki you are not able to tell that in depth or something like that, but if really someone has that ignition that they want to start, that is really more than enough. And I think most of the students' questions are already answered, and there's not any question left which you have not answered. But still, those who are really wanting to ask more questions, we can share the contact number of Sudhakar sir, and you can always visit Chatbeat Zoo. Even I'm also planning to meet sir personally after this lockdown. I had also tried to meet him a lot of times, but was not able to. So I would conclude by saying thank you to Sudhakar sir for sparing your precious time and giving us 1 hour for this motivation. Thank you for telling about the job profile, about the schedule of the syllabus of the exam, and about the subjects, about the maintaining your physical and mental stability. All these really form a very good combo when we get it from words like you. If you say, that really becomes very motivating. So at last, I just want to share with Paul with you, just give your feedback about this session. So the poll is on your screens. You just have to click on how was the feedback of the session, so that we can really arrange something new for you. You just need to, you will find 3 questions on your screen, and you can really answer it.
Nikhil, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. You are audible.
Yeah. Whatever, because many a times even we also got lectures when we start preparing, and we also met some people. So many people might not be your role models, right? And might not be impressing you. That is what. And but you should not leave your attempts. You should keep on meeting people. You should keep on thinking about this, discussing about this. And in my opinion, we have a lot of people in Punjab, very good people, very good officers. So we can arrange some more sessions with some more officers, like informal sessions, like today. So I know some officers who is suitable to talk to the younger generation. So some officers I can manage. If you want to do some future sessions like online sessions or meeting people, and any material, any discussion through WhatsApp group, so you are welcome, right? Any of your willingness about the future strategy, who are really willing to do preparation and do service. So please let me know your questions. Plus, let me know your programs and strategies, whatever possible.
Yeah, we'll definitely plan out another meetings with you, and it was really very fruitful. According to the poll, we have got almost 100% of the people which find this workshop is a very useful tool. And I also remember you had been motivating us during our visit also to start some initiatives like that. And that's a part of your mentoring only, that I am able to organize such webinars, and hopefully see that we'll be organizing these again, and most probably something for the wildlife. There are also some people who want to work for the wildlife and nature, and we also thought of establishing a wildlife club in the college, but due to some reasons that was not properly planned up. But this lockdown has really given us enough time for planning out these things, and we are definitely seeking for your support.
Anytime, anytime. I just wanted to conclude with some marks about personal thing.
Sure.
That as I told you, I didn't start my preparation about civil services in my UG, right? And even people might have not thought that I may study for civil service. I was one of the most enjoying persons in my UG, and the so-called backbenchers. I'm not feeling proud to that. I enjoyed, because that was my dream when I come to UG. I should not miss any enjoyment. So I should be having fun, and I should enjoy Chennai, and I should enjoy my youth period. So everything. So it was not in my mind in my UG. But of course, I met some persons as my friends. So they tried to create some sparks, like my schoolmate I met once. He is presently IPS. So even though I didn't get the lecture, but he told me that simply when I went with him once in the bus, he was telling that you are the candidate for next from our people, from our village. So this type of things, when we goes inside, somewhere it will be somewhere it will be impressed, somewhere it will be impregnated. So that come out after some many years, like after UG, after 3-4 years. So after 7 years of my in my school, I was the first topper, but in UG it was very average. So, but the ability to do the appreciations, the faith on you people are having, so that will create the mentality. So only thing is, you should have that spark alive, that may be taken up immediately, or after 7 years, 8 years also you can do it. but the spark should be very important. For that, veterinarians, as I said, I didn't do anything in veterinary UG preparation. So my batchmates, if after seeing me as an officer, they could not imagine how he prepared and how what made him prepared, whether he went to Delhi and sat for 2 years. So a lot of questions. So I could not do justice to my veterinary batchmates after getting services. So in my mind, it is always there that veterinary students, veterinary team should get benefited by the services. For that, in this position, I can do something for veterinarians. I would love to do. That's what I wanted to say, right? So for veterinarians, if it is in veterinary side, if it is in wildlife side, if it is in civil services side, please feel free to ask me. Whatever possible, I'm ready to do it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
And
great. I don't want to take much of your time. And thank you, Nikhil, for the wonderful session. After a lot of years, I talked about veterinary and veterinary subject. And
Yeah,
love to meet you. Love to have something fruitful next time, right?
Definitely. It was so nice of you for sparing such time, and it was wonderful meeting you face to face after, I think, 2 years, I think. And at last, I would like to thank the organizers who really helped me in organizing this. The first is Arzu. She is a third year student. And thank you, Arzu, for helping us in organizing this event. And Navodita, also, thank you, Navodita, for organizing this again. You can clap for these
Thank
people.
You.
And Shivam. These are the people who really helped us in organizing this event. And hopefully with your people, your motivation, we'll be organizing lectures in the future. And finally, thanks a lot to everyone for joining in. And we'll be meeting again next weekend. See you all. Have a nice day. Good day, sir. Good night,
Thank you
sir.
all. Good day. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you all. All the best.
Okay. Bye.